Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm just messing around with that guitar. Hello. I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome back to the show. It is I, Adam Crigler, your host of the Crigler Show. Today, we're going to be discussing the Rittenhouse trial, which is going on all week last week, and it should be finishing up shortly. Today was an absolute train wreck for the prosecution. In fact, it seems every single time every day, it just gets worse and worse for the prosecution because they keep calling up these witnesses who just keep saying all these different things that essentially allude to the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself, self-defense. And I mean, today was really just the icing on the cake, as it were. I mean, none of this is good. I mean, look, people died. It sucks when people die. That people might get upset that I even said that because of the people who did die. I mean, they were not very good people. So, but Kyle still has deaths on his hands. That's the truth. But I fully believe that he was defending himself. But we're going to discuss what happened today, because today was kind of. It was kind of crazy what was said. One of the people who, the guy who he blew the dude's arm off, the bicep, that was like, there's pictures of him with a bloody arm. Of course, if you look at the picture down in his hand, he's holding a gun, and that is part of what we're going to be discussing. So I'm gonna save it and show you all this stuff, and I'm going to show you how the news, and I say news loosely because it's propaganda. Who am I kidding? How they reported what happened today. And then we're going to be discussing this whole Biden's niece's diary that the FBI is raiding. They're raiding journalists' homes because of it. It's just a crazy story. So we're going to get into that. National File has a full report on it, and I'm going to read it for you guys. And then I'm going to talk about how James O'Keefe got his own house raided, even though he came out with a statement saying they weren't going to publish any of this information, and they're going after journalists, and this is what happens when you go against the narrative. And then finally, we are going to be discussing a funny story. You may have heard about Biden's, you know what? I don't need these on. Hold on. Let me get rid of those. You might have heard about Biden's flatulence. It's a funny word. I'm a child. And so I guess there's rumors of a countess. Is it a countess? Hold on, let me check. The Duchess of Cornwall was pearl clutching because he kept farting all the time, and it was really frustrating. Wow, my glasses are incredibly dirty. Give me 1 second. Should probably clean these. I can barely see through them. That's so much better. So Biden, it's a funny story, and it may be the truth of what happened in the Vatican because he was, stalled for a while. They were supposed to do a meet and greet and ended up not doing it. And rumors were floating around in Rome, unconfirmed, by the way. They were unconfirmed that he had an accident, needs adult depends, all those funny things we talked about at hashtag. What was the hashtag? Chat, what was that hashtag? What was the hashtag? Hashtag poopy pants Biden? No, was that it? I don't remember the hashtag, but it was hilarious and really entertaining. So this I'm looking at this article. I can't wait to read this for you guys. It's hilarious. Someone in chat just said, Last Crow says Snopes actually fact-checked it. I have the Babylon Bee fake Snopes fact check. I don't know if they actually fact-checked it. Oh no, they did. You're right. They fact-checked the original Rome story, but this is glorious. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into that. Before we do, remember you can go to my website, adamcrigler.com, and find out all the different things. You can support me directly, find out about my coffee company, criglercoffee.com. All my videos are loaded up there, the podcast, the RSS number in case you use a podcast app or something along those lines. For those who don't know, we upload my every single show, just the full show, up to a podcast form, and you can get my show in that case. And if you are in fact just listening to my show instead of watching me live here on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate the support. You are supporting me through the means that you can, and I appreciate you listening to me out there. That's very nice of you. And also, chat, how you doing, chat? You guys are absolutely the best chat in all of YouTube. For those who don't know, you're now witnessing the best chat in all of YouTube because they're amazing. They support each other. They are hanging out. They're like a family unto themselves. I feel like some of them come for the chat and not even for me anymore, and I'm not even upset. Okay, so let's get going. First, we're going to be discussing Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, before I even get into the story, you think Black Rifle Coffee owes Kyle an apology? Do you think they'll give him an apology? I don't think so. For those who don't know the story, Kyle Rittenhouse was freed on bail, and was the first picture seen of him. He was wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company shirt, and everyone's like, "Whoa! Do they sponsor him? They're based. They're so patriotic, supporting self-defense." And the Black Rifle Coffee Company came out so fast going, "No, whoa, 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 no. We are not supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. We do not sponsor him at all." By the way, Kyle, if you would like a coffee sponsorship, hit me up. I got you, bro. And we don't have t-shirts yet, but maybe I should work on that. Anyway, then they came out saying basically F all Trump supporters because they don't want those people's business, which is just absolutely insane. Do you think that they're going to give Kyle an apology? Well, they should, because from what we're learning from this trial is Kyle absolutely was in self-defense and was in the right. His life was in danger. He was told that he was going to get killed by Rosenbaum earlier that night. He straight up said, "If I catch you alone, I'm going to kill you." That's what he said. And Kyle heard that. And the prosecution was like, "Oh, that's not good, right, guys? Ooh, shoot. We should have, maybe we shouldn't have asked him that question." Well, they did. And now the jury heard that Rosenbaum was actually seeking to take these people out, including Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, that was last week. Now, today was a huge win for the defense, thanks to the prosecution. Now, before I even show you guys some of this stuff, I just got to give a shout out to my man, Nick Rakita. If you guys don't know who Nick Rakita is, he's been on my show multiple times. I've been on his show many more times. I love crashing that dude's show. It's very fun. He's hilarious. He's super spicy, and I get to be real spicy on his show. I have no filter on his show. I do swear, for those who don't know. I don't swear on my show. I try not to anyway. I have before, but I really try to refrain just in case there are people who don't like to hear swears or their children present. But I want to just give him a shout out. He's still live right now, and this is his channel, Rakita Law, over on YouTube. I'm stream sniping him. I don't know anything that's going on in their chat right now, but he has been streaming for 6 hours, probably closer to 7 now, and I've been paying very close attention to what Nick says because I trust just his viewpoints on things, and he definitely he's got great guests. Eva Viva Frey jumped into his stream earlier. That was cool to see Viva supporting Nick Rakita. But today, during their stream, something happened, okay? And I actually have this clip, and it was posted by Viva Frey. And I'm going to play it for you guys. It's 40 seconds long, okay? Let me just cue it up for you guys. Here it is. This is the guy who lost his bicep to Kyle Rittenhouse. And I want you guys to hear this. Actually, let me just put this back on. Okay. Here it is.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Oh!
That's it.
There it is.
That's
verdict. Directed verdict on all the murder charges.
Wow.
Kyle knows.
Yeah.
Directed verdict on the murder charges.
He just exhaled. Kyle he looks like he's gonna cry.
How do you not acquit after that?
He pointed the gun at Kyle Rittenhouse. And then Kyle shot him in self-defense. Yeah, when you point a gun at someone, what are the rules of gun control? By the way, this guy has defended having a gun there, saying, "I believe in gun rights." Those are his words. He was saying, I support gun rights. So he, I assume, knows the rules of a gun. Number 1, check if it's loaded. 1B, check if it's loaded. 1C, check if it's loaded. All right? 2, never point a gun at someone unless you intend to use it. Okay? So if you're pointing a gun at someone, the person you're pointing it at can only assume that you're going to shoot them with it. Kyle Rittenhouse was, as we learned from the trial, was already told that people were out to get him. Okay? Rosenbaum straight up said to him, "If I find you guys, I'm going to effing kill you." I believe those were his words. Okay? So now that already happened. He was already cornered, alone. And that was last week. We talked about Rosenbaum. So now this is later on. He had already just defended himself against someone else who was beating him with a skateboard. Okay? Now this guy comes up with a gun, puts his hands down, and then points his gun at Kyle, and Kyle responds in kind, defending himself. Wow. So that happened today. Let's tune in to see what the prosecution was doing at this moment. Oh, that is right. That is being memed. People are captioning this and posting it around because that is the look of defeat. Look at this guy. He's looking down like, oh my goodness. Did that just happen? Oh, this guy's got his head in his hand. Just, oh, dude. We just lost this case. We just lost this case. The whole point of this case was to prove that it wasn't self-defense. Okay? Every single time this prosecution brought on a witness, it was like they were defending Kyle. They were proving that he was defending himself. What? Okay, so how is this trial still going on? I mean, Rakita said it right. How can you continue on after this was proven? It's crazy. Not only that, this guy straight up said on the stand, well, after Kyle murdered this other person, it's like, and the judge was like, whoa, you can't say that. This trial, we're doing this specifically because we don't know. We're yet to determine what it is. So you're not allowed to do that. Jury, strike that from the record. This witness is, making claims. He can't do that. I don't remember the exact lingo he used, but the judge has been rather on point, and according to Nick, has been on par the whole time. Had even done a better job of defending against the prosecutors than the defenders. But let me show you guys how the media has been spinning this. Now, I have a feeling none of you are going to be surprised. None of you. I have, four articles to read. 4 articles. And I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to get into it. We're just going to take a gander at the headlines. All right? First up, Washington Post. I'm sure you guys love Washington Post, and they're not at all biased at all, right? Gage Crosskreutz says he feared for his life before Kyle Rittenhouse shot him during Kenosha unrest. Gage, I'm fairly certain it was Kyle who feared for his life when you pointed your gun at him. Probably wouldn't have shot you if you didn't do that. Let's go next. This is MSN. Man Kyle Rittenhouse shot testified he feared for his life. That's what they're all focusing on. CBS, lone survivor shot by Kyle Rittenhouse at the Kenosha protest testified he thought he was going to die. You could say that all you want, but when you point a gun at someone else, then maybe you could think that. Hey, if I point my gun at you and you have a gun, man, maybe I would die. Was he thinking that after Kyle shot him and defended himself because he was thinking that Gage was going to shoot him? Let's go over to Forbes. Let's see what Forbes thinks. Kyle Rittenhouse shooter survivor thought he was going to die. Was shot after pointing his own gun. Oh, okay. Hey, a little bit of truth in the mix. Of course, they had to start with saying he thought he was going to die, so then he pointed his gun at Kyle. Yeah, that's going to... Just saying you think you're going to die, that's not proof, okay? When you point your gun at someone and they think they're going to die and they have a gun and shoot you in self-defense, that's provable. And what you did, Gage, today was admit that Kyle had every right to assume and think that you were going to shoot him because you pointed your gun at him. You know, Gage is actually suing Kenosha for millions of dollars right now. And his reasoning, get into it, says it was a natural consequence of action of the Kenosha Police Department and the Kenosha Sheriff's Office when they used the migrating militia to protect property and help maintain order. Oh, you're saying that the police did that? They were sending Kyle out there to do that? I don't agree. I don't think the police were sending these people out there. I think they were Americans sick of seeing our country being burned down for months on end. Remember the Summer of Love? Remember people were getting killed in Chaz? Who was being held accountable for that? Antifa was attacking a courthouse in Portland for months on end. Months on end. They had to send the feds to defend it. Who's the domestic terrorism? The terrorist? What is an insurrection? Who's really out there that we need to worry about? It's not the teachers, okay? It's not the patriots, because newsflash, they love this country. They want to defend this country. They want this country to maintain. So do I. So when Gage was out there and chose to point his gun at Kyle, he forfeited the, ability to live. He's lucky he is alive. He should be grateful he's alive. Because had Kyle Rittenhouse actually killed him, I still would have been on Kyle's side. Because he chose to point a gun at Kyle. And Kyle defended himself. And every right to do so. So what is this? What's going to happen from this? I don't know. I do not think that Kyle should testify. He has not testified. It would be silly for him to do so. I think that they've already proven above and beyond that it has been self-defense. But we'll see. The trial, according to Nick, should last until the end of the week, maybe Wednesday or till Friday. But you never know with these things. I'm going to try to have Kyle on my show, or not Kyle. Well, I'd love to have Kyle on my show, actually. But I'm going to try to have Nick on my show after everything finishes to try to give his overview as to what happened. Nick is great. I'm sure he'll be able to come onto the show. He joined me last week and gave us some updates. But we'll see. But I will be paying very close attention to this because this is not even, I don't even think this is an attack at Kyle. I think this is political. I think it was political from the get-go. And they really, really, really want to implement more gun control. And they want to, look at the McCloskeys, right? For those who don't remember, the McCloskeys were the two lawyers that stood outside their property when hearing from their dinner table that a bunch of people were outside and were talking about taking their house. And they went outside and brandished weapons, and the rioters, protesters, whatever you want to call them, were on private property. They went through a gate that was clearly labeled private property, no entry. And so they were on private property talking about raiding this house. Now, that is not proven because there's no video or anything of that. But this is what they said. But they were arrested and their guns taken. But it's a castle doctrine state, and they had every right to defend their homes. They didn't shoot anybody. The wife could have had a little bit more trigger discipline. Shouldn't have had her finger on the trigger. But, I think if you have a gun, you should learn how to use it. And I don't think that that's the one criticism I have of her, that she wasn't, she had her finger on the trigger. Shouldn't have done that. She wasn't in imminent danger. But the father or the dad or whatever, the guy had, Mr. McCloskey, had proper trigger discipline. And so does Kyle. Every single video of that you see Kyle walking around asking if anyone needs a medic. That's pretty much what he was calling, see if anyone needs a medic. I'm fairly certain he's a registered medic, helping to administer any medical needs for anyone who needed it. But you constantly saw him having good trigger discipline. Clearly he knew what he was doing. Clearly he was experienced with a gun. And, it wasn't him being off his rocker. Right? Clearly, he was in a solid state of mind. He heard from Rosenbaum's mouth he was in trouble if they caught him alone. And then he was proceeded to be chased down the street and attacked. And he defended himself. So, I'm on Kyle's side. We'll see what happens with this. I don't know. But I'll be paying close attention, and of course I will probably do one more segment when it does finish up. Hopefully I can get Nick on my show to discuss that. Even if I can't get him on this week, maybe I'll have him on next week. I have a guest tomorrow. I have Jorge Ventura coming on the show. We're going to be discussing his new documentary that is coming out. I'm very excited about that. I have The Quartering coming out on my show on Thursday. If you guys don't know who The Quartering is Jeremy. He's great. He's also Midwestly, but most people know him as The Quartering. Fantastic guy. He's been on my show before. I've actually been on his show before as well. He was the first person to reach out with to have me on the show back in late August 2020 to just help me start off on my own. And so yeah. And then Garrett returns on Wednesday. I'm really excited to have him back. I really like having Quarter Black Garrett on the show. Great guy, really nice, really funny. So that's really fun. So I got a nice guest-packed week this week. So the next 3 days I'm going to have guests on the show. And it's going to be good. Really excited about it. And then, of course, Friday Night Jams will continue every Friday. But let's move on, shall we? Next, we're going to be discussing another controversial news ticket, okay? It's the Biden diary. Now, I'm not talking about Joe Biden, the president. I'm talking about his niece, okay? Ashley Biden. This is from the National File, and it's Ashley Biden diary reveals child sex trauma, drug abuse, resentment for Joe. Yeah, this is really... it's not even surprising because this is stuff that kind of already came out. With the laptop, the Hunter laptop that the news claimed for so long was Russian disinformation, it was fake, blah, blah, blah. And then they finally admitted after the election, oh, actually, maybe it was real. And, we just kind of squashed that story. But this is new. This is from a diary that has recently been uncovered. Since Saturday night, National File has published dozens of pages of from what our whistleblower has identified as the 2019 diary of Ashley Biden, the 39-year-old daughter of his daughter, of presidential candidate Joe Biden. The diary was started while the author was in a drug rehabilitation facility in Florida and details her romantic interests, crumbling marriage, struggles with drugs and sex addiction, and family life as her father began to run for president. They obtained this document from a whistleblower who was concerned the media organization that employs him would not publish the materials in the final days before the presidential election. All right, so already we see this actually was public before the election. So it wasn't just Hunter Biden's laptop. It was also Ashley Biden's diary, all very, very damning towards Biden, and it probably would have crippled his whole campaign, which was relatively non-existent anyway, right? The whistleblower has a recording of Ashley Biden admitting the diary is hers. and employed a handwriting expert who verified the pages were all written by Ashley. National File has in its possession a recording of this whistleblower detailing the work he did to verify its authenticity. In the recording, the whistleblower also adds that his media organization chose not to release the documents after receiving pressure from a competing outlet. What a surprise. Well, I mean, all news companies are owned by, three corporations, right? Is all the news media? I mean, it just makes me think of that tweet that I tweeted that has millions of hits on it. That's a crazy amount of hits on it. And it's not even that surprising that that's what is trending, because, people, they're still sharing this. I wonder if I can find it real quick. But it's essentially the news saying, this is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. And then it's like all of them repeating it over and over and over. And I can't find it, but I'm fairly certain all of you have seen this video. It's been floating around for a year or two. I don't know when it was first created, but it still rings true today. It still is just as dangerous to our constitutional republic, to our freedom, as they claim it's dangerous to our democracy. But hey, newsflash, we are not a democracy. For those who don't know, we aren't. That is mob rule, and mob rule is how Rome fell. I mean, we aren't a democracy. Everyone does have a say. That's the beauty of the system that we have. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I want to go back to this. The crazy thing about this, right, is now that Biden is president, right? Biden is the president. Some people, not my president. Yeah, okay, well, he's the president of the United States. I will critique him, and I will, and I'm going to make fun of him in a little bit when I talk about his Sharts capades, very funny stuff that I'm sure we're going to be laughing about it. But this is no laughing matter. Okay, the FBI now, Biden's Department of Justice, is now raiding journalists who reported on this story. Look at this. This is from the Epoch Times. Is it Epoch Times? Epoch? I'm going to go with Epoch Times. The Epoch Times, FBI searches home of Project Veritas linked people. This is nuts. They're raiding their homes. Federal agents searched the New York homes of people tied to Project Veritas, according to the founder James O'Keefe on Friday. In a video posted to Project Veritas' YouTube, O'Keefe said his organization obtained a grand jury subpoena before saying that the current and former Project Veritas employees' homes were searched by federal agents. Apartments and homes of Project Veritas' journalists and former journalists have been raided by FBI agents, he said, adding that it appears the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York is targeting the group. Additionally, O'Keefe said that a Project Veritas associate was contacted shortly after the FBI searched by a New York Times reporter, despite the grand jury subpoena being issued in secret. Within an hour of one of our reporters' homes being secretly raided by the FBI, the New York Times contacted the reporter to ask for comment, O'Keefe said, adding that we do not know how the New York Times reporter obtained information about the search warrant or the subject matter. Project Veritas sued the newspaper for defamation last year, and I believe they won that, actually. In November 2020, Project Veritas sued the New York Times for libel, claiming the paper's coverage of Veritas video was incorrect and was partially driven by New York Times reporters' resentment. Lawyers for the newspaper filed its defense in April 2021, denying most of the allegations. An FBI spokesman told the Associated Press that agents had conducted a court-authorized law enforcement activity at an apartment in Manhattan, an address in Mamaroneck in Westchester County, New York. The spokesperson did not appear to comment on whether the searches were linked to Project Veritas. The Epoch Times contacted the FBI for comment. In 2020, Project Veritas was connected by individuals who claimed to have obtained a copy of a diary belonging to Ashley Biden, President Joe Biden's youngest daughter, O'Keefe said in a video. Tipsters alleged that the diary was found abandoned in a room after she left and that the diary contained explosive allegations against then-candidate Joe Biden, O'Keefe said. Project Veritas lawyers, he continued, were in contact with the Department of Justice before the searches were carried out. Their lawyers told federal agents that they had conveyed unassailable facts that demonstrate Project Veritas's lack of involvement in criminal activity and or criminal intent, O'Keefe also said. It continues, like any reporter, we regularly deal with the receipt of source of information and take steps to verify its authenticity, legality, and newsworthiness. Our efforts were the stuff of responsible, ethical journalism, and we are in no doubt that Project Veritas acted properly at each and every step. Yes, of course. Why wouldn't he? He is the most scrutinized news source on the internet, bar maybe Alex Jones, but I think Alex Jones has been kind of pushed into his little corner where he's happy to, well, I don't know if he's happy about it, but, he does his thing. Where O'Keefe is still, pushing stuff into the mainstream. People are sharing it. He still has YouTube channels. He was taken off of Twitter, which is absolutely ridiculous. This was, a couple months now. I don't actually recall exactly when he was taken off of Twitter. O'Keefe said Project Veritas could not determine the authenticity of the diary and tried to return it to one of Ashley Biden's attorneys, but the lawyer refused to authenticate it. The organization instead gave it to the law enforcement to ensure it could be returned to its rightful owner and never published it. So they didn't even try to publish it. They even tried to return it. They gave it to law enforcement. What could they have done better? Why was the FBI raiding their home? What was the reasoning? Is it a scare tactic? Is Biden using his powers as president to cover for his family's drama, to vaguely put it? Because from what we know of the Hunter laptop, which is now true, we've found out, and according to the National File, they have verified this diary because of the different thing. I read it that she was in rehabilitation, in rehab, and maybe it was part of her process to help heal, to get all that negative energy of the things that she dealt with as a child. I mean, Hunter Biden, there's videos of him doing disgusting acts to family. It's gross. I haven't seen the videos, but I've seen clips, or not clips, I've seen pictures from it in different articles that have talked about it, and it's sick. There's some sickness in that family, in the Biden family, and they are desperately trying to keep it under wraps. So, I don't like even doing this. What if they did it to Trump? What about Trump? What if this? What if this? I don't do that, because Biden himself doing what he's doing should be the main focus. He is abusing his powers, and that is one way he's abusing his powers. There's multiple facets and examples of how he's abusing his powers, running by executive order, canceling things. Just stating that we're going to put mandates out there and forcing it upon the people. There's lots of things that I can't stand about Biden. But this is insane. And I just have to ask, imagine if Trump was using the DOJ to raid the homes of people that were trying to report on information about his kids that were detrimental towards him. That's what's happening. Or that's what I'm seeing anyway. Okay? Maybe the FBI has a reason. What do you think, chat? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that the FBI had a legitimate reason to raid these journalists' home from Project Veritas, former employees also, and current, former and current? I think there was 2 people that got raided. I don't know. I don't think so, personally. But that's just me, right? And I'm just one man. But you know what? Let's make fun of Biden, shall we? There are some gross and terrible things that I've heard about the Biden family, and Joe Biden alone sniffs kids very publicly, talks about it. Most racist politician I've ever seen, okay? He's said more racist things than, honestly, anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. bar movies that try to paint racism and whatever, they talk about racism. Joe Biden is a racist from what I've seen. He talks about it. He stereotypes people. He's just a terrible person as far as I'm concerned. But let's make fun of him, shall we? Okay, so we all know about the poopy pants Biden. I believe that's what it was. Hashtag poopy pants Biden, right? Is that what the hashtag was? I asked you earlier, chat. Do you guys remember? Let's go, Brandon. So he supposedly in Rome, he had a meeting with the Pope. Well, he did have a meeting with the Pope, but supposedly, rumor has it, it hasn't been confirmed, rumor has it that he shat himself. Okay? So we don't know if it's true, but according to someone on Twitter who is a blue check mark said, hey, there's a rumor going around in Rome. Someone just said the pootus. It's pretty good. That's funny. So there was a rumor going around that, he had an accident down below and had to have it taken care of before he left the Vatican. So we don't know if it's true or not. But here's something that we now know is true. Now, this article, I giggle so much every time I just think about it, because this is from the climate summit, which is what he was over in Europe for. I believe he went down and met with the Pope during that. Okay, so Joe Biden or the new Trump. So I don't really understand that. Is it just like, see, Trump, they had to make up stuff to be mad at. This is actually stuff that they're making fun of. Joe Biden, Camilla hasn't stopped talking about hearing the president break wind during chat at the COP26 climate summit in Glasgow. Listen to the first sentence. It's so good. He is supposed to be committed to reducing emissions. But when President Joe Biden produced a little natural gas of his own at the COP26 summit, it was audible enough to make the Duchess of Cornwall blush. You're supposed to be reducing emissions, man. Not making it worse. So yes, he was farting a bunch because he's an old man who can't keep it in. And he's representing America on the world stage, which in itself is the serious part about this, okay? Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer to drop that, but it's serious. He's representing America. America is a joke right now because the president is a joke, and he's like the figurehead. And it's, granted, I'm pretty sure most people around the planet know what "Let's Go Brandon" means, right? I'm fairly certain people know. And by the way, thank you, Brandon. This whole movement to try to squash and take back the "Let's Go Brandon." Yeah, that's not going to work. Thank you, Brandon is basically saying, thanks for pouring mud down my pants, or you know what I mean, or thanks for slapping me. I appreciate it, but it's sarcasm. You don't really care. You're more like giving them a backhanded smack. Yeah, thanks for that, you a-hole. Right. So it's the same thing, guys. Sorry, leftists. You failed. You can't meme. Anyway, let's continue reading this hilarious story, shall we? An informed source, oh, yeah, of course, has told the Mail on Sunday that Camilla was taken aback to hear Biden break wind as they made polite small talk on the global climate change gathering in Glasgow last week. It was long and loud and impossible to ignore. Sorry, I can't do it with a straight face. It's so good. The source says Camilla hasn't stopped talking about it, and I don't blame her. You meet with the president, you know, the last thing you want is for him to be letting out these long, loud, impossible to ignore rips, you know. I'd be ripping him, would be proud, though. Haven't seen him in a while, but he would be proud. The president met the Duchess during a reception on Monday at the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, attended by Prince Charles, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and Boris Johnson. He almost looks like he's letting one out, and he's happy about it. Like, oh, I've been holding on to that one for hours, or minutes. Who knows? I don't know. Look at this. You can almost see. She's like thinking like, oh, is he breaking wind right now? Look at that. She's like, oh my gosh, she's breaking wind. And she looks like she's about to scowl at him. Like, are you breaking wind in the Duchess's presence? Just hours earlier, the 78-year-old, nicknamed Sleepy Joe by Donald Trump, had appeared to doze off during the opening addresses, prompting more questions from his political rivals over his fitness for office. Newsflash, it's not just his political rivals, okay? I'm fairly certain that most people are like, dude, I'm starting to get worried, okay? And a lot of us have been worried from the get-go, okay? It's creeping. Do you know what his approval rating is right now? You know what? Let me pull something up. Hold on. Biden approval rating. It is at an all-time low. Let me see. We got Gallup, Washington Times. 38%. Oh my gosh. Sinks to a new low of 38%. Well, look at that. Goodness sakes. What do you think he's saying here? I want to see. What do you guys think that he's saying? Caption this real quick. Let's do this live, right? Or in the comments. If you guys are watching this on the clip version, post in the comments what you think he's saying right here at this moment. And someone timestamp it so that you have access to this moment, because this is hilarious. Let me see. Pull my finger. Someone says, pull my finger. That's funny. I like that because he's holding his finger out and really angry about it. It's like an angry pull my finger. It was just a fart, Peter says. Oh, that's funny. My butt's been wiped. My butt's been wiped. Like really angry about it. Anyway, so I don't work for you. Lots of good ones in chat. You guys are great. Or someone said, let's go, Brandon. He's screaming, let's go, Brandon. Wait, that's negative. Oh, that they're saying F Joe Biden. That's what that means. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, my friends call me Brandon. So just, let's see. It's not the first time Biden has faced claims that he broke wind. In May of 2020, Republicans, including Donald Trump Jr., posted a video clip of Biden containing a suspicious noise while live streaming an exchange with Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. However, a separate video, which circulated last month and was briefly trending on Twitter under Fartgate, was found to have been doctored to include fake flatulence. Well, I don't know about you guys, but what's up with these Democrats just letting farts loose? I'm looking at you, Swalwell. Cheat an election. I mean, he literally bobbed up a little bit, right? I mean, it's classic now. I fully believe Biden was farting all over the place. I think it is absolutely hilarious that he was doing so, and I fully enjoy making fun of him because why not? Now, here is from Babylon Bee. Fair warning, this is not a real article. This is the Babylon Bee. They make satire, which here's the line of what's real and what's fake. They're right here, right on the line between what's real and fake. They're always fake. It's not the bee. It's on the other side, right on the other side of the line, on the real side. It's not the bee. And then here's Babylon Bee. So they're both hilarious. So seriously, you guys, if you don't know It's Not the Bee, check that out because that's Babylon Bee's actual news site. I reference them sometimes. This is from them. Snopes rates claim that Biden pooped his pants as mostly false since it was more a wet fart. Fart jokes will forever make me laugh. I regret absolutely nothing. I don't care. It's funny. Flatulence is funny. And anyway, it is great to have you all hanging out with me. I'm going to get into some super chats right now. I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching my show. Thanks for supporting me on all the different fronts that I do on my ventures. As you know, I am currently out solo in the world of YouTube and Twitch. If you don't know, I actually do Twitch. Commodore Crigler is my name over on Twitch. My gaming buddies call me Commodore. It's kind of fitting as I tend to take more of a leading role when I'm playing games. Not saying I'm the best at games. I feel I'm fairly decent at video games, but I just have a very logical based mind and efficient mind when it comes to gaming. So come check me out if you'd like. I usually go stream after the YouTube show. So usually within a couple hours, I'm live over on my Twitch channel. But yeah, thank you all very much. I really do appreciate you all. And please smash that like button. You know you want to smash it. We got a great smash to like ratio. I feel like we can get it to 1,000 likes. Can we get it to 1,000 likes? Remember to smash that like button for me. It really helps the algorithms. And definitely share my videos. Sharing my videos probably helps the most because people who don't know my show exists will then see my show and maybe they'll be interested to come check it out themselves. Now remember, I have Jorge Ventura coming onto the show tomorrow to discuss his new documentary about the cartels smuggling humans across the border of the southern border. Huge problem and something that I'm sure the Democrats don't want to know because they want open borders, which is absolutely insane. And this is part of the reason why we should not have open borders. I am all for legal immigration. I am all for legal, what's the sanctuary, or having a place for people to come to, and legally, right? I want people to be able to come here legally. We're a country of immigrants, and it's amazing. We have all different. We are the most racially diverse country on the planet, and probably the least racist. I would die on that hill, and I think it's going to be a good show, good interview. I'm looking forward to having him on the show. And then, of course, Wednesday, we got Quarterblack Garrett coming back. I think I might have convinced him to join me every Wednesday because I really enjoy having him on the show. And then maybe I'll join him for his movie segment, after the show, which was really fun. Last week, he was on the show, and then we went immediately over to his channel and started talking about The Life Aquatic, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, maybe my all-time favorite. Debatable. We'll see. Or, it is. It is. I love that movie so much. And then, of course, Thursday, we have The Quartering coming on. Jeremy, also from Midwestly on YouTube. You might know him. He's great, and he's going to be joining me. We're discussing just what's going on, the daily stuff, and having him on the show is great. I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, Friday, I jam with my guitar. All right, let us get into it. I saw a couple super chats come and go. Let me go get into those and find those. I appreciate you guys, though, so much. You have no idea. Or maybe you do, because I do try to remind you how awesome you guys are. All right, super chats. There we go. All right, where were we? Robert Wiles says, I hope this makes Betty smile and Diana Francisco smile. My pug ear is doing better and the infection is still there, but not as bad. Blessed everyone. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And then he says, with a $20 super chat, says, I don't have the money to do a $50 super chat, but I had to do this way. Hopefully this is okay. Alpha Zero Omega can't wait to get some of that Crigler coffee gold, but can you send him a mug on me? I can do one mug or one more to help the cost. Unfortunately, he lives in Australia. Alpha Zero Omega, I do appreciate you as well. Thank you, Robert. He lives in Australia, and we don't ship overseas. It is just, especially Australia, it costs just way too much to send any product. And I actually sent a mug and some coffee over to Az, who lives in the UK. And he never got it. In fact, I got a package back a month later, and the mug was completely shattered. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. But I saw you say that you wanted me to donate that super chat, so I'm going to do that. I saw that. I actually told you right in the beginning. I was like, I can't do it because it's Australia, but I will donate that because that's what you asked for. So. Mr. Wolfgram says, I just started playing Cyberpunk 2077 a few days ago, and it's awesome. Haven't experienced any issues, and the graphics are amazing. I agree. That game is so awesome. Such an incredible game. It got way too much heat because too many people were complaining because they were on old systems. I couldn't handle it. I think it shouldn't have even been released on those old systems. Hot topic. I don't care. That's what I believe. I grew up in the day where a new game would come out on Super Nintendo, and if you were on Nintendo, you were screwed. Oh, but what about making it for Nintendo? Like, imagine that. Super Nintendo was such a jump in everything. And then Nintendo 64. Imagine if people were complaining that Mario 64 didn't come out for Super Nintendo. It's like no one complained. Everyone was just grateful that they were advancing. Okay, Cyberpunk, they were lucky to be able to play it. I mean, they weren't really able to play it because it was butterfaced and just not very playable. I don't care if that's controversial or not. Some people might get upset, but it came out. I played it on my PS5. It was amazing. I got it for a computer so I could stream it. I ended up playing it for myself because I really, really just had a fun time. And I put 80 hours in it before I beat the game. And I loved the game. I loved every moment of it. Sure, there was some glitches, but I mean, I've been gaming for 30 years and there have been plenty of games with glitches. I don't care, that were significantly worse than this game, and it didn't ruin my gaming experience. So I'm glad to know that people are still playing it and really enjoying it, because I really love it, and I wanted them to continue and build their multiplayer version, which they were going to do, almost like a Grand Theft Auto online, but Cyberpunk online. Like, man, that would have been so epic and awesome. I really am bummed that I don't think they're going to do that anymore because of all the stuff that happened, and it's a shame. Let's see here. Robert Shaw says, oh yeah, Biden farted. How funny, how hilarious, while the U.S. is being ripped apart and brought to its knees with a collapsing economic and failed border. Hey, Robert Shaw, all right, Mr. Black Pill. Okay, that's not what I do here. Yeah, I critique, I talk about that kind of stuff, and maybe you're right. It is crumbling. They are ruining the economy. They are opening the borders, which are allowing cartel to traffic humans across the border. And it is a shame, but I'm not going to lose hope. I'm not going to become black-pilled, because that is a choice that I'm making, because I love life. I love living. I want everyone to live a good, prosperous life and be happy. And I don't know if you know that about me. I'm going to try to spread that energy, all right? Be optimistic, be hopeful, work towards the life that you want, and don't let anyone stop you. I think that is the energy we need to put out there, and not that kind of energy. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. I know that you said you have a super chat there, but then I noticed that you retracted it. So I'm thinking you don't want me to read it, so I'm going to not read it, but thank you for that super chat. Oh, wait, you retracted the earlier one. Oh, I don't even see it here. Okay, so it's not on this list. That's weird. Maybe you redid it here. Okay, Mr. Knox says, that star witness knows he's screwed, yet it's ridiculous. He wants $10 million, even though he came into a riot with a gun he's not allowed to carry legally. Oof, I forgot about that. Is that real? Is that true that he wasn't even allowed to carry a gun? I know that I saw a picture of a concealed carry permit from him. Was it expired? Is that what it is? Oh, we got 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. Yeah, John just pointed out to me we got 1,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for those likes. You guys are amazing. All those likes, every time you guys smash like on my videos, it tells YouTube, hey, people like this. Maybe we should actually share this video to others that don't know this channel, and it helps me grow. I think that. I thank you. Scrody says, howdy, Adam. Black Rifle needs to apologize to the people for the stunt and to Kyle. True. I agree. But hey, I got a coffee company that people seem to be enjoying now more than that. Robert Shaw, thank you for that super chat. It was deleted by a mod, so rightfully so. I trust my mods. Mark Geese, celebrating 5 months, says Black Rifle Coffee owes me an apology for how horrendous their coffee is. Nothing compared to the great flavor of Crigler coffee, and anything else is taste bud abuse. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That is fantastic. Why is everyone guessing numbers? Maybe there's a super chat giveaway later on, but I am not there yet, so you guys will have to wait. Zylox Dragon with a $30 super chat says, chat teamwork, add this to Robert Wiles' super chat for that mug to Alpha Zero Omega. We are the best chat. Guys, unfortunately, we do not send overseas. I'm sorry. I know that's amazing. Zylox Dragon, I really do appreciate it. So what I'm going to do instead is give away a bag of coffee to someone domestic. Right now, I'm rolling for all of you. All right, so this is brought to you by Zylox Dragon and Robert Wiles. Both of them have added enough. Let's just give it away. Give a bag of coffee away. So, all right, so people are guessing a bunch. So I'm going to Wait until I see my die. I hold up the die right there. Okay, I just rolled the die. I'm now watching. Okay, the numbers are rolling in. Rolling in. Dan Smith Studios, guess 11. Dan Smith, I got to give it to you. Dan Smith wins with 11. Congratulations, Dan Smith. I think you've won before, but I got rid of that rule that you can't win more than once. Forget that. I think anyone should be able to win at any time. Congratulations, sir. I really do think that's fantastic. I love seeing people win that come here often, and Dan Smith, of course, is always here supporting out. Thank you so much, and I appreciate that. So, you know the deal. Email us, the Crigler Show at gmail.com. Sorry, I had a burp, but then it was like, no, wait, no, I'm gonna, wait, no, what, I'm gonna burp. It was weird. All right, thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate that. Chet says, with a $10 super chat, something I want to know is how the F does Gross Cures get a job as a paramedic? What kind of EMS service lets someone like that around our most vulnerable and lets them carry narcotics like fentanyl? Dude, I don't know. Everything about that whole situation is super sketchy, and it's just, I mean, they're making the case for Kyle, man. They're making the case. So Robert Shaw says Bezos asking the real questions in that trial, making the prosecution facepalm, was hilarious. It's over. Bezos destroyed them with one question. Mark G says, when the prosecution is as strong as their star witness's right arm, pure bliss. You guys get it? Because he lost a lot of mass on his right arm. Anyway. Mr. Knox says, guess Bicep Man knows he can't lie since it will be used against him. It's as if these people don't know how the law works. Oopsie. Nailed it. Yep. All right, let's see. Scrody says, they lost the case like the Bidens lose diaries and laptops. Drum roll. Mr. Knox again says, prosecutor facepalming, how am I going to win this case? I can't use the murder motive. Hold on, I got to bring it back. It's just so, like, what is he thinking right there? Dude, you just lost. You just lost. Oh, how am I going to win now? I'm going to guess whether Rittenhouse is free or is tried for a lesser verdict, there will surely be riots. I hope it doesn't happen. Sadly, I 100% agree with you. 100%. Mark G says, I'd fear for my life if I was opposing the Kenosha kid. Luckily, I'm not a felon or a commie. Yep. It's me says, I lost my diary years ago. Think the FBI will find it for me? No, probably not. Snowboard Dan says, I live in Milwaukee, and the only people I hear not on Kyle's side has not watched any of the case. Just the news. Yeah, and you see how the news is reporting it. They're going, oh, he thought he was going to die. So what, that makes it okay to shoot or aim your gun at someone? To do what? What were you going to do with that gun? If you aimed it at Kyle, you obviously were aiming at him for a reason, which giving him full thought that you were going to shoot him with it. Yeah. Let's see. Minion says, they will let Kyle win, so we will have more riots. It's all part of the plan. Hashtag we are screwed. No, we are not screwed. Don't put that kind of energy out there. It's all about being positive. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what they want, more riots, but we have to come together. And, you know, like I was talking to Garrett last week, you know, reconciliation. There's a point where people are allowed to realize that they were wrong. And there's a lot of people in the middle that might think that Kyle was wrong, but then maybe in following the news, their worldview is being, solidified. But if they watch the trial, if they hear the logical sides of everything, maybe they'll be swayed. But if we're angry and make fun of them and ridicule them, they're gonna just burrow further into that worldview. We have to worry about that. Brindor celebrating 14 months. Thank you so much for that 14 months of membership. Keep up the good work, Crigler. Thank you so much. I appreciate that support. That's a lot of support. 14 months of membership. That's awesome. Thank you so much. John Hoyle, Do we call the FBI for every petty larceny now? Like a $20 diary? Abuse of government power. Period. Oop, I just had a super chat jump. Give me a second. Mr. Knox says, what's happening to Project Veritas is exactly what happened to Apple Daily in China, Hong Kong. This is all levels of wrong. Yep, wrong speak. How dare you even... I mean, they weren't even going to release it, and they were trying to give it back to the authorities. Nothing makes sense on why Project Veritas was being targeted. It's absolutely stupid. Mr. Knox continues, says, Snopes says he didn't fart, so was it a shart then? Well, they said, well, he didn't poop his pants. It's mostly Foss. It was more of a wet fart with as a shart. Slavkai says, if Kyle gets charged for firearm possession, then Gage should too. Apply the law equally. The establishment cries out in pain as they punch down on you. Yep, exactly. It's a good point. Mark G says, America isn't a joke. It's a shat show now. Not all of them. Not everyone. Certainly certain people, yeah. Kyle Schmidt, Snopes denied it. Biden supplied it. Mark G, oops, I did it again. I shat in my pants. Such a... Dude, Lonely Island, you know, I wish they still made music. Those guys are awesome. Andy Samberg is hilarious, and I would love to meet him one day. I think he's one of the funniest guys out there right now. I just love his... I don't know what his political views are, and I think that's awesome because it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be spouting his political views, right? I'm a political commentator / general life commentator, so, you know, my political views are part of what I'm known for. So, you know, that's... I'm not a famous anything else, or I'm not famous at all, you know, but it's like Andy Samberg is, but I don't know what his political views are. So, like, watching The Rock come out and be like, I think you should all vote for Biden because blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, The Rock, come on, man. I don't even drink tequila, and I would have probably tried some of your Terramana, but now I'm not interested because I'm turned off. I be ripping them. It's been a while. How you doing? I talked about you earlier. Says, I changed my mind. Joe is my president. He says, it keeps showing me he is just like me. That's funny. That's good. I like that. Good to see you. Kyle Schmidt says, GIF software censors LGB or offer pro Biden GIFs. Wow, really? Hold on. Let's do this right now. I want to test this out. I'm going to my Twitch, or I'm going to my Twitter feed. Let's see here. Let's see. GIF, let's see. FJB. What? None of this makes any sense. What is this? There's nothing. None of these make any sense for that. Hold on, all right, I'm going to type a swear out, but I'm not going to say it. No results. Okay. I mean, that's it. There's like nothing here. Okay. Yeah, this is not what I expected. I thought I would have seen a lot more. Let me see. Let me try this. Let's go, Brandon. There's like nothing here. This is probably a guy named Brandon. No joke. What is this? All right. Anyway. Not really surprising. Mr. Knox says, a bit of good news in Melbourne, Australia. Tens of thousands attended a protest to fight the mandates. That is the energy right there. Very nice. Mainstream media tried to say they're all anti-vaxxers. See, so stupid. They're confusing. They're combining anti-vax and anti-mandate. I am anti-mandate. I'm not anti-vax. I am anti-mandate. Period. That's it. End of discussion. I'm pro following what your doctor says to you. All right. Jason Dixon says Gigawatt Token has released $GGWTT on Polygon Network starting at 0.0001%, 100% green energy for Bitcoin miners. I'm so freaking excited. Right on, Jason. I know you've been talking about that for a couple weeks now. Corey Allen says, when is the P.O. Box coming? I am going out tomorrow and getting a P.O. Box. The meat is about ready. I'm super excited about it. It's been aging for roughly 5 or 6 months now. Can you send that through the mail? I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. That's debatable. Getting liquids in my P.O. box. You know what I mean? Not to say anything against you. I just feel like as a general rule of thumb, probably. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my team about that. Mr. Knox says the prosecutor face palming. It was at this moment he knew he effed up. I got to bring it back because that's funny. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. It was at this moment that he knew he effed up. I don't swear on my show, but that's funny. That's a good one. Christopher says, hello. Hope all is well, and let's go, Brandon. Also, the firearms did nothing wrong. That's just such positive energy right there, guys. I like that. That's a good super chat. Christopher, thank you for that super chat. It's positive. I hope all is well for you as well. Thank you. Moincoin with a $10 super chat says, live your best life, Adam. Sent from Melbourne, Australia. Liberal hell. Another fantastic super chat. Thank you. I love that energy coming out of Australia as well. Because woof, Australia, anyone who's in Australia that's listening to my show right now, I'm watching you. I'm wishing you the best, and I hope you guys get through it because I've always wanted to go to Australia, and currently I can't, I don't think. And I probably won't be able to unless things change there. Chris Holmes says, imagine if Trump had farted or shat his pants. They would have tried to impeach him. I'm tired of hearing, but Trump, take responsibility. That's my point. Exactly, Chris. I don't want to compare it to Trump because he is doing the stuff that is just simply bad. Trump never even did any of that stuff, and they made him out to be this terrible boogeyman, the worst person ever, when Biden is doing all of these things that are actually terrible, and they're praising him for it. It's crazy. It's crazy. What a clown world we live in. Moincoin again with a $10 super chat says, everything you've heard about Melbourne is true. And actually the corruption is a lot worse within the government itself. The political parties use state resources to impede political opponents. That's crazy. And that actually happens here in America as well. Gavin Newsom was using tax dollars to basically defeat the gubernatorial recall election, which is crazy. Carnell says 19 episodes till you're at 300. You think you can get Niche to join you for the show? Would love to hear you two doing a cover of I Got You, Babe. That's cute. Maybe. I can't believe it. 300 episodes. 280. Can you guys believe that? We're on episode 280. Man, I remember the first 100. It was awesome. I was so excited. I think I popped champagne. And then 200th episode came, and I'm like, this is nuts. Like I'm still here. This is still working for me. People are still showing up for me, and now we're almost at 300. And I really appreciate all of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all showing up for me, and it's just amazing. You guys are great. For Panita says, hey Adam, check out Revenge of the Cis and Irrational Times, great YouTubers. Revenge of the Cis. That's CIS, like cisgendered. That's a funny name. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, guys, that is my show. Thank you for tuning in with me. I will be going live over on my Twitch channel later. I'm going to be trying out that new game, Lost Ark. Now, it doesn't come out until March of next year, but someone gifted me a beta test version of the game, so I get to actually play it long before anyone else gets to, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to try it. I have not tried it at all, so it's going to be a it's they even get upset when you say blind playthrough, which is what I've been saying my whole life. When you go in blind, not knowing what you're gonna do, what's it like at all. What did they call it? First playthrough now, whatever. I haven't played the game. I haven't touched it because I want to stream it live, so I'll be streaming that later tonight on my Twitch channel. And but tune in next few days. We've got some great guests. Jorge Ventura is joining me tomorrow. We're going to be discussing his new documentary. He's going to be explaining all the research that he's done about the cartels and human trafficking across the border in South California, which is a huge issue. So we're going to be discussing that. Quarter Black Garrett joins me again on Wednesday. And Thursday, we've got a great guest. Jeremy from the Quartering is joining me. Really excited about that. So thank you all very much. I will see you all next time. Have a great night.